Look at this, everyone. Good morning. It's the Sometimes Vlog. It's a vlog that happens sometimes, and sometimes it happens right here, bright and early in the AM on Main Street, USA. Behind me, well, right here, is Main Street Station here at Disneyland. Isn't it comfy? Isn't it cozy? Compared to Main Street Station at, say, Walt Disney World, it looks a little smaller, a little more snug. But it is a beautiful sight, perched here roofless, overlooking Town Square, Main Street, USA. Once again, I've come at the opening of Disneyland today just to poke around. I have a very busy day ahead of me, but I can't help it. I can't help popping into the park when I have a chance, just for a few hours before pretty much everything else in the world opens. You know, I did a video of Walt Disney in the park here at Disneyland, sort of a then and now thing with my friend Adam the Woo. Each one of us did one part of it. We each took a series of pictures of Walt Disney, and there's one of him standing right here overlooking Main Street, USA in the morning. Of course, the giant Christmas tree wasn't there, and it is one of my favorite pictures of all time. Over here, Mickey Mouse in full Christmas getup, Minnie Mouse right here, greeting visitors as they hop into the park in the morning. I am a visitor in the park in the morning, and I gotta tell you, I am freezing my Tootsie Rolls off. It was 39 degrees when I got in my car this morning, which doesn't seem physically possible for Southern California. Southern California is such a tease. It's always taunting you with its beautiful palm trees and wonderful sunlight, and then its cold temperatures in the winter. And I know, somebody from Michigan right now is going to try to one-up and say, it's only negative 23 degrees here in Michigan. Well, good for you, but it doesn't make me any warmer that you're colder than I am, sir. It doesn't make me any warmer, just that you're cold. So anyway, look at that. Now yesterday I was here at Rope Drop 2, Rope Drop being the opening of the park. I called that because sometimes they stretch a rope across the end of Main Street there so that people can kind of line up on Main Street before the opening of the park itself, and then they have an announcement that comes on the radio that tells everybody, don't run, walk. Don't trample each other, although there haven't been enough people out here in the cold morning to trample.
Christmas picture right now?
Oh, they're going to do a Christmas picture. I wonder if they're going to do a fun one. They're going to take a fun pic. Anyway, I was here yesterday, and I walked so briskly beyond Main Street, I didn't really have a chance to stop and take a good look at it. Look at that beautiful Disneyland Christmas tree. Look at this beautiful Disneyland Main Street. Anyway, nobody's here in the morning, which is kind of cool. I'm usually never here in the morning. The morning is sort of verboten for me. I don't like the morning, but ever since, like I said yesterday, I've been back from Europe. I'm all messed up. My sleep schedule is all backwards. I feel all crazy and kooky. And just till I get back to normal, you might as well roll with it and go for the morning. Right here, look at this. Gives us little sights of Main Street. Look at all the people coming in early, wearing their Christmas sweaters and other accoutrements. This is pretty awesome right here. So one thing I love about Main Street for any season of the year is it puts you right into the season. It's sort of a complaint of people who come all the time, like, oh, I came during Halloween, there's Halloween decorations all over everything. I wanted it to be normal Disneyland since I never had a chance to see normal Disneyland. I get that whole aspect, but it's pretty cool that no matter what season it is, there's always some sort of decoration to put you into the mood. Speaking of which, I don't know if this is just a thing about getting older, but to me it seems like every Halloween feels a little less like Halloween, and every Christmas feels a little less like Christmas. Now granted, I went through a crazy divorce, going through this whole crazy divorce process and all this stuff, and have spent the last 2 years with my Christmas and holiday traditions totally exploded and blown apart and being completely different. It's been a rough couple of holidays, let me tell you. Heading into the holiday season is not super easy. So that might have something to do with it, but I think in general, is this just me or do you feel this way too? Like when you get to Halloween, especially this year, Halloween just didn't feel very Halloweenish, and Christmas isn't feeling very Halloweenish either. But one thing I love, hold on, let's just listen for a second. Look at it, everyone's getting into it. Gone away is Blackbird bus with your Aunt Tilly too, and other things too in the land. I don't know the words. It's okay, I mostly do know the words, but look at that. Now, does that not put you in the Christmas spirit right there? Does that not put you in the Christmas spirit? Anyway, what I was going to say is one of the wonderful things about Main Street USA at any Disney park is that because they do the crazy theming and because they do stuff like that where they have the costumed cast members coming out playing beautiful Christmas music and wonderful things, it puts you right into the mood of whatever that holiday is. So even though for some reason for me this Christmas isn't feeling very Christmassy, every time I get to come to the park and every time I do, I get to be sucked into that Christmassy feeling. Now before I go any farther into Disneyland, I should say today I saw something out front that I hope is temporary, that I have never ever seen before, that's kinda negative, which is that out front of Disneyland this morning were metal detectors. It's the first time in my entire life I've ever seen metal detectors outside. I understand they've had them in the past for certain special events. They did look temporary, they weren't permanent, but they were out just inside the bag line. I'm hoping they're there for some sort of random screening purpose, but there did seem to be event staff staffing them, not Disney security. And there were a lot of like bigwig looking folks outside and big crazy cameras. So I'm hoping that was for some sort of event, and maybe that is just to make people more comfortable given recent events in Southern California and elsewhere in the world. But I saw that this morning. It was kind of made me weird out. Hello, James. Good morning. Kind of made me weird out a little, like, oh, I've never seen that before. It was like really put a weird taste in my mouth. Like, no. So I have to report on that because I'm sure everyone else today will, and people will go, Justin, why didn't you say anything? Santa, look. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Santa. Look at him, just chilling, having his time off. Look at Santa Claus right there. See, even Santa Claus, as busy as he is, has time to pop into the park and have a time. By the way, just a side note, the white Converse. Do you all you girls and high school age boys, are you all on the email list somewhere that I'm not part of that's like, hey guys, guess what we're gonna do? We're all gonna get together and we're all gonna wear white Converse, okay? It's gonna confuse everyone. Let's do it all at the same time. Because I want to be on the list. I'm not gonna wear what you wear because I'm my own man. I just want to be part of things. That's all. I just want to know. Look at that. Oh, good morning, Reggie. That's Reggie. Oh, that's just my pet snake, Reggie. Look at this. No real point to this vlog. I just wanted to show you beautiful Main Street. Yesterday we were on beautiful Main Street. It's probably the same length of time, just to walk down Main Street. And it's just so gorgeous in the morning. I just wanted you to see it some more. The Matterhorn Mountain looks so good. I gotta say a couple things actually, since coming back from France. A couple things have been pretty weird to me. Okay, so for one, this. Sorry. I was choking on my own spit there for that brief moment of silence. This, the Astro Orbiter here at the foot of Tomorrowland, looks so weird to me now. Now, if you weren't paying attention, go back and watch my vlog from Discoveryland in Paris, which is the whole steampunk themed land. They don't have a Tomorrowland, they have Discoveryland instead. And one of the big attractions in Discoveryland is the Orbitron, which is this, that they copied here at Disneyland 6 years later when they did their redo of Tomorrowland in the 90s, their golden Tomorrowland. And all of Tomorrowland has sort of changed back to actually being futuristic looking, except this. This remains. Now, obviously, it's expensive. At one point, they were going to get rid of it and then decided, hold off, we're going to do Star Wars stuff. And I think now with Star Wars Land, we might not see this go away for a long time. That's what they were planning to maybe redo Tomorrowland. That was all up in the air. But for now, the Astro Orbiter is still here. And I have to say, now that I've seen the Discoveryland version, I've seen this thing in its natural habitat. It looks extra weird to me, like a little piece of Paris is just stuck right here in Anaheim. Which is cool, don't get me wrong. Just bizarre. Walt Disney over there with Mickey, enjoying a good, happy morning. And then there's this, the Matterhorn. You will not see this at any other Disney park. I hope they never copy it anywhere. It's the bomb. I love looking at that miniature mountain. Woo! Who's this? Is this Eddie or Danny? Let's see. It's Eddie. I was right the first time. Good morning. Look at it. Now Eddie is a handsome horse right there. Danny is my favorite Disneyland horse because he looks the most like pettable, and I don't know where Danny's been yesterday morning or this morning. but Danny is so cute. I just want to always pet the horses. And here at Disneyland, you cannot pet the horses while they are working. No touchy. No touchy allowed. However, sometimes when they're off duty, they'll stick them at Big Thunder Ranch, and then you'll have the opportunity to pet them back there. Oh, I know that's going to lead to some negativity in a second. We'll get to that in a second. Look at that. The Matterhorn. The mighty Matterhorn. Why is it full of holes? Well, it is the Swiss mountain. So many legends and wonderful stories about this amazing mountain of Walt Disney's. Walt Disney was kind of a crazy guy. Think about it this way. He was like, I'm going to build a little fairy tale kingdom for people to run around in and pet my mouse. And people are like, what the heck are you talking about? That's not going to work. You're going to lose all of your sexy money, Walt Disney. Your money is pretty sexy. You got a lot of it. You got a couple houses. You got some stuff going on. Don't lose your money, bro. And he was like, bruh, you don't even know. I'm in the hammer who has Sabada Mountain. Well, actually, first this, and then a couple years later, he's like, you know what I'm going to do? There was a big pile of dirt right here left over from building Disneyland. He's like, you know what I'm going to do with that dirt? I'm going to build me a Swiss mountain. And there you go. The Matterhorn. Third Man on the Mountain was coming out, a Disney movie about, you know, being in the mountains, and then the Matterhorn's just cool looking, so why not, right? Why not build a mountain? But he's kind of a crazy guy. Like, what would you do if your neighbor came over and he's like, hey, Jerry, it's me, Jerry. I'm talking to you, Jerry. He just calls you Jerry because he can, and his name is Jerry, and everybody's Jerry to him. And then he's like, I'm going to build a mountain. It's going to be called Jerry's Mountain at Jerryland. You'd be like, what the heck is your problem? So just saying, Walt Disney, kind of a crazy guy. I like it, though. I like it. You got to be a little crazy to get anything done in this world, because if you're just normal, you're not going to do anything but like ride the bus and go to McDonald's, and nobody wants that to happen. Okay, look at that. Sleeping Beauty. Everybody always gives you this view. You always take a look. Well, let's take a gander. Gander's a male goose. And there's ducks right there, so it totally works. Let's take a view, a peek. A wonderful view of this. And over here towards this wishing well that everybody also likes to point out. Good morning. Wonderful little pond. Nobody ever pays attention to this. A wonderful little beautiful pond over here on the side. Because we get distracted by this. And look at Snow White's wishing well. Listen. I'm also dreaming and wishing and hoping for the one I love to find me today. We'll see what happens. Look at this mine right here, guarded by Grumpy. That's where the whole Grumpy thing comes from. Everybody's always like, where's that come from? Right there. See how he's guarding it with his rump? No one's getting in here. If I guarded this well with my rump, it would look like this. No one's getting in here. Nope. I've actually seen people guarding that well with their rump. This is a very popular place for people to get engaged and make out and kiss, and everybody wants to wait here to get the perfect picture of it, all empty with nobody around, without any. See, you gotta crop them out. Gotta get a fun one, like dipping your finger in the well or something like that. And at nighttime, sometimes people will just sit on it forever and like kiss and make little jokes, little inside jokes that we're not a part of. And then, anyway, and then they just time bucket, and then there's a whole line of people who are like, I just want to go over there and say something cute to my girlfriend in front of the wishing well. It's a pretty funny, romantic, and also frustrating experience for everyone. It's kind of the most interesting place in the park. See, I come here a lot by myself. I'm always alone, all grumpy and bitter. No, I'm just kidding. I'm always alone in the park, and so I do a lot of people watching here. And so there's a lot of places like that that are particularly interesting when you're alone to go check out in the morning. Let's walk this way. Let's just do a lot of walking. So basically, I have a ton of errands to do today. Aaron Jones and Aaron Smith, I gotta call them up. No, I have a bunch of errands to do and things to get done before Christmas. And so this is just look at the size of this. Very small and petite and cute. And it's so awesome. I just freaking love it. No dragging into this castle. No stores underneath. Well, that's not true. We got the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique under here, and we have the handicap version, or the, what should we say, the accessible experience for the walkthrough of the castle down here. If you've never seen that video, I did a video all about Sleeping Beauty Castle's walkthrough. All those videos are at youtube.com/livefastiport. Of course, we have our fountain over here. We have a fountain right over here. And by fountain, I don't mean that it shoots water all around Sleeping Beauty herself. Aurora, I'm talking about this. We have drinking fountains flanking it, so I mean, it makes sense. She does make me thirsty. That's the weirdest thing I've said today. Anyway, beautiful Fantasyland with a Matterhorn over it. And by the way, nobody ever notices our square trees. Oh, you're in Paris, there's square trees. We got square trees too, bro. I almost said square trees too, bro. We got square trees too, we're cool. We know how to party in Anaheim. We know about square trees and stuff. I think we also know about magnets, probably. We built part of the space shuttle here, so I think we know a little bit about magnets. Look at the Matterhorn though, poking up. Look at all beautiful and cool. It'd be cooler if Pinocchio was on this side and the Matterhorn was poking up above that. It would kind of fit in more, almost like Storybook Land. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ignore me. Let's just take our look. Now look at this. It's 8-something in the morning. Tom Bosley is here taking a picture of this lady. You can see there. He's going to tell Richie what to do in a little while, probably to clean his room. And but look at that. No line at all for Snow White. No line at all for Pinocchio. Well, let's see. There's like 10 people in the line for those other dark rides. But look at freaking Peter Pan. Already this time in the morning, I'm going to guess that's going to be posted as a 45-minute wait. These people are going to be waiting for 45 minutes, at least, bare minimum, 45 minutes. This is bam when the park opened. That's definitely another contrast from coming back from Paris and seeing that. When Peter Pan there on the weekend was a 15-minute wait, and they had a fast pass line, which they didn't even really need. Spoiled. I got spoiled. It's funny. Anyway. Over here, Sword and Stone. Over here, Pinocchio, which looks exactly the same as Paris, which is really tripping me out. Like, it just looks so exactly the same. They did such a good job of copying it over there. They made it look perfectly identical. Super weird. But look at this. For the most part, other than crowded around some of the main attractions like Space Mountain in the morning, right now, because Hyperspace Mountain, and Peter Pan, always huge crowd in the morning, because everybody goes, let's just get it out of the way now. In the morning, first thing in the morning, the line will be short, which is not ever true. Ever, of any time of the day. It's never going to be short. You just have to suck it up. Look at this. I'm just going to show you this beautiful scenery while I forget what I was going to say. Oh, other than that, though, there's really not that many crowds. So you'll have some crowds around the surrounding attractions to some of the big ones. Like you might have Star Tours crowd right now, or maybe a little bit in the submarines because it's near to Hyperspace Mountain. And you're going to have a crowd, and some of, like Dumbo will have a little bit of a line because it's so close to Peter Pan. But for the most part, look at Mr. Toad. Nobody in front of Mr. Toad. I really want to ride Mr. Toad, come to that. Anyway, Big Thunder Ranch over here. Going to disappear more. Star Wars Land. Crazy. So I got a bunch of errands to do. I got a bunch of Christmas stuff to do, but none of the stores open until 10 o'clock. I woke up at 7, so I was like, well, why not cruise down to the park, enjoy some of the sights, sounds, and smells of early morning Disneyland. This is one thing. They don't have Mr. Toad in Paris. I think I showed you guys in the Fantasyland vlog there. I'm gonna walk around all Fantasyland. They've got a restaurant which is set up to look on the outside just like this Toad Hall here. Oh, actually I want to take back the just like, but very, very similar to this Toad Hall. Similar in scale and size actually as well. But the inside of here is a Mr. Toad eating area. Over here is like a Winky's Pub eating area. Then behind it, there's Mr. Toad themed bathrooms where like there's a mural and Mr. Toad's giving you a thumbs up. There's a little bit of a line in there, or else I'd cruise in. I guess we're just gonna have to keep on walking. Isn't that great? No line outside the door is a very cool thing. Over there, inside there is a square thing for the old pylon, the Skyway to Tomorrowland, which used to depart with the abandoned Skyway station over here. A random video about that. Let's walk this way. Let's walk down Big Thunder Trail. Let's just walk around. Let's cruise. Isn't that wonderful, though? By the way, they do this thing when a teacup's out of service or a rocket's out of service, something's out of service, where they put like, they'll drape a cloth over it, and the teacups will have these weird blue covers on them. They look really, really strange. I really like the ones for Dumbo. Like when you can't ride in that Dumbo, and they have that really ornate looking, focus looking cloth. That looks cool. I gotta say, I really like that one. Look at this topiary. A Dumbo topiary. I don't know, nothing new to see here for me. I am used to everything here, and then I worry like, well, everybody else is so used to it. I'm at Disneyland quite a bit, So I'm always worried, like, well, you guys are gonna get bored? You guys gonna get bored with Disneyland? You wanna should we just vlog everywhere else? Over here, just tripping on exactly how similar the Pinocchio area and the village house is to this whole similar part of Paris. Although their Casey Jr. and all that stuff's totally different. You guys will see that I filmed quite a bit of Paris footage, mostly heavily in Discoveryland and Fantasyland. Not as much in Adventureland and Frontierland, but hopefully we'll be able to put some stuff together. It should be a total of 3 to 4 random lands coming. And we have 1.5 of them already edited down and boiled down. Just letting the Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland video live a little longer. Right. Speaking of Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland, I'll come through here and show you, before they close Big Thunder Trail, some of the sights and sounds, but while I'm walking I'll point them out to you. But we'll point them out again, so don't get annoyed when I repeat myself here. Over here, Big Thunder Trail. And this is one of my favorite parts of the park. That's why I wanted to do the Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland video. Obviously did a poop gate video just about that gate right there. That's because I just like hanging out over here. When I used to smoke, which is a disgusting habit that you should never do because it's really pointless and stupid, I used to love coming here because the smoking areas were all here. Tyler and I used to hang out here for hours and hours on Big Thunder Trail just because there's no attractions back here, so there's nobody. Anybody know where this is from? Little Disney trivia. Little Disney trivia. And people think that is a tunnel from Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland. And right in this area, like literally within a few feet of where that tunnel is, was the entrance to the Rainbow Cavern back in the old Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland days. But no, that is not actually fun. This is all built for Big Thunder Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain, look, there's the goat right there. There's the goat with the dynamite, and there comes the train. Oh boy, here it comes. Slowly. All right. He was gonna make me a liar for a second. That would have made me so mad. Don't make me a liar. Anyway, right across here, Big Thunder Ranch, and this is where some people were confused. Like, where's that tunnel that you showed in that video? The tunnel that I showed in the video that was sort of half buried, that was like a maintenance tunnel that is left over from the original Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland attraction, is back here. And you're only gonna be able to see this for a few more days. That's why I'm pointing it out. And I might get yelled at if somebody catches me walking back here, because they're not open yet. But right there, you see that entrance to the side of the big barn? I'll show you where the stage is. This is not open yet, so hopefully I won't get in trouble. There's no rope. She's cleaning up. Right here where it says cast members only, you can see that little tunnel area there. Right, see that? See that little tunnel half buried? And I didn't come across in the Random Land. I did a whole Random Land about the old Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland, which is a massive attraction that covered this whole area. You gotta go watch it. But that's where the tunnel is. See how it's sort of half buried? It's because they raised the ground level up. I explained it in the video, but you couldn't really tell what I was talking about because we didn't have a shot from back here. Mostly because when we filmed it was full of people eating, and we didn't want to be rude to them, but they let us go right next to it. It says cast members only past that point, so you could technically walk up to it and sniff it if you want. I don't think you're gonna get in trouble. But they let us go back there, and we just made sure, like, can we film here? We don't make sure we're not trying to point cameras backstage. So this right here, this low wall here, was part of the original Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland scenery. That low wall here, this low wall here, and these buttes. So this circle arch rock. Now, for years I suspected that and couldn't prove it. I could not prove it. It took me a ton of time and research. And that's because the train came by this on this side, not the other side. So you walk past it on Big Thunder Trail all the time, you look at this arch and you're like, this looks so familiar. This is the side where it would look familiar to any Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland pictures and all that stuff. You had the Bouncing Rock Canyon over here where the Devil's Paint Pots and Old Unfaithful Geyser would be right over here, sort of in this area in front of the stage over here. So this was the area where the whole Living Desert scene, Bouncing Rock Canyon, Devil's Paint Pots, Old Unfaithful Geyser, all that stuff was right here where people eat at Big Thunder Ranch. All of this closes. Its last day of operation is supposed to be January 10th, same as Rivers of America, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to close January 10th. I don't know what the exact last day you can eat here is. It's pretty good food, I guess. It's not my favorite food in the park. I'm not really that nostalgic for this. A lot of people are freaking out. They're ripping out a Disneyland institution. Listen, Mine Train Through Nature's Wonderland was a thing. Walt Disney was cruising. There's a famous picture of him with his jacket over his shoulder, cruising through like an old west-looking canyon. That was right in here. They ripped that out in the 1970s to build a barbecue place. At the time, there weren't as crazy of Disney forum style fanboys like there are now, negative Negatrons. There weren't as many Negatrons back there, but what would happen if there were fanboys back then, haters, is that they would have been like, you're ripped out where Walt Disney used to walk to put in a restaurant, just caring about money. Well, now they're trying to rip out the restaurant and put it in Star Wars Land, and hey, listen, it's not my favorite placement choice either. Everyone's freaking out and getting negative. How dare they rip it out? It's not Disney to get rid of this. Well, it wasn't here in 1955. Just hate to break it to you. Or in the 60s, or when Walt was alive. This was put in the 70s after the fact to serve people with mustaches barbecue. So you have no reason to hate. That's something that's been grinding my gears lately. A lot of people just hate. Gotta hate on progress. Gotta hate on new things. Star Wars Land isn't getting rid of anything except for relocating this barbecue restaurant that wasn't here originally, and this the petting zoo area that also wasn't here originally. What you had here originally were the stagecoaches and the pack mule trails, and then Walt Disney stuck yet another train in here with the train through the living desert and all that stuff, and then it became the mine train through nature's wonderland, featuring the beautiful rainbow caverns. And if you don't know anything about that ride, go right now, youtube.com/livefantasylife. It's the most current video, most current Random Land talks all about it. But that attraction covered all of this. So when they put in Big Thunder, it would be kind of like ripping out something the size of the Jungle Cruise to plop in another little tiki room. Like, this must have blown people's minds. Like, yeah, okay, really cool roller coaster, and it is let's face it, one of the coolest roller coasters on the earth. Like, it's so well done and well themed. It's really cool. But they left all this just sort of like unused, just forgotten, abandoned area where there's still abandoned pieces of the old pack mule trails up there and the old station wagon trails. Look at all these people who are fantastic. Good morning. Yeah, they're over there. Look at them handing out Fantasmic fast passes. That's also something that's new. Fantasmic. So there's no reason to hate. You guys are all hating on the wrong thing. To the haters, I say, I don't want to hear it. You take your hate elsewhere. I've been unfollowing people left and right who just have to post the only negative stuff about Star Wars Land. Listen, guys, I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to want to hear at all. It's coming. There is literally nothing that you can do about it. There's nothing that I can do about it. Hating on it is just going to make you negative, me negative, the world negative. About something that you can't control. It's going to be here anyways. Big Thunder, not an original part of Disneyland. None of that stuff back there that's leaving was an original part of Disneyland. None of it. Indiana Jones, not an original part of Disneyland. In fact, I seem to recall many fanboys freaking out. They changed the Jungle Cruise, which was an original 1955 attraction. Significant changes were made to the Jungle Cruise, a Walt Disney attraction, to accommodate the building of Indiana Jones. And I recall a lot of people freaking out, being like, it's not Disney, that's terrible, oh, it's awful. And now they all love it. Oh, Indiana Jones is so great. And if you got rid of it, they would freaking lose their mind. So I'm going to make a prediction that a lot of the haters pretty soon are going to be like, I love Star Wars Land, it's so great. Pack mules used to go right across there, right across the top of there, and the train used to come right out here. This was Bear Country, before there was a Bear Country land over there. And this is all part of Mine Train through Nature's Wonderland. So anyway, so the fact that they're changing Rivers of America a little bit and ripping out a barbecue restaurant that Walt Disney never saw or ever had a twinkling in his eye about, to me, it's really not that bad. Just saying, way worse things could happen. Dude, they could rip out the castle and replace it with the shack if they wanted to. There's nothing that's stopping them. So I'm pretty grateful for the fact that Disneyland has stayed pretty true to Walt's original vision. I grant you that it seems strange sticking a whole Star Wars land in there, but there's nothing new about movie tie-ins. I'm just saying. I know, everyone's gonna get mad at me, but I'm just saying, there's nothing you can do about it. It will be part of Disneyland in the future. You will get used to it. We will all live and survive. And just putting this out there, when Frontierland opened, it was pretty much Davy Crockett Land. That's a movie tie-in right there. All of Fantasyland is pretty much Walt Disney movie tie-ins. They had an area, look how beautiful that is. They had a whole area, just a Mickey Mouse Club area, just to promote the TV show and the whole Mickey Mouse Club thing. I mean, Walt Disney himself named Sleeping Beauty Castle after they'd already designed it and everything. So, whoa, we should name it Sleeping Beauty Castle to tie in with a movie that I'm going to come out with. It was his idea to put a walkthrough in there, tied in with the movie. And I know what you're saying. Well, those were Disney movies. So is Star Wars now. I know that blows your mind, but so is Star Wars now. Also, Walt Disney bought Mary Poppins, bought Winnie the Pooh. Those are not Disney original creations. He didn't come up with the story of Sleeping Beauty or Snow White or Pinocchio. So you have to relax. This is honestly par for the course. This is honestly something that the people who knew and worked with Walt are all like, yeah, it would have been fine. Walt Disney loved innovations in storytelling. He loved acquiring properties that he thought were good storytellers and then like enhancing them with his Imagineers and his people. So I'm pretty sure, honestly, this goes right along with the way that Disney as a company has always worked, really. Now, I grant you that it's a little strange to put a whole land themed around one movie into Disneyland itself. I personally feel like it could have been a third theme park, and that would have been much, much better. But as much as I want to be like a nerdy fanboy who has to hate on everything, I also love Star Wars. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. I'm just as frustrated with you as the closures of Rivers of America. Look at all the scenery and all that, but it's going to be fine. We're all going to live. And speaking of Star Wars, the movie comes out today, 7 p.m. Like I was trying to talk about yesterday, but the world's greatest distraction, Adam Wu. Of course, he'd call me the same thing, so we're both tied, I guess. The world's other greatest distraction, Adam Wu, trying to throw me off balance. He didn't want to think about it, didn't want to talk about it. Today's the last day. Return of the Jedi is the end of Star Wars. Think about that. Today is the last day we wonder, what happened to Luke? What happened to Han? Today's the last day all of our fan fiction counts. Today. Force Awakens. Technically it's tomorrow, but screening starts at 7 today on the West Coast. I don't have tickets until after midnight because tonight I am being allowed to return to a very certain, very exclusive restaurant here at the park, which I'm pretty excited to go back to, and taking some very important person to Club 33 tonight. And so that's what's on my agenda for nighttime, so I will be back in the park later. And I was just gonna vlog around that time, but for one thing, you are not allowed to film any video footage in Club 33. It is forbidden. Didn't used to always be the case, especially in the old club, but it's super, super forbidden now. No video allowed. A lot of take pictures, so I will post pictures. And maybe we'll do a vlog talking about what it's like and then post pictures with the vlog so I can just talk about it and you can see visuals. But that'll take a little time to put together. And also, it'll be nighttime. And what if I get a stomach cramp from eating too much delicious Club 33 food? It's really expensive. It's really fancy. It's totally not a place that I would be like, hey, I'm gonna eat here every day. Like, even if I was a billionaire, I don't know. Well, we'll see. If I was a billionaire, if I was a member, I would literally invite like one of you guys like every day, like, all right, I'm going next Friday. Who's coming with me? And pay for your dinner. So that's my pledge. If I'm ever a multi-millionaire member of Club 33, an MMM, a Triple M, a multi-millionaire member, I promise I'll invite all y'all one at a time. Well, not all of you, but some of you. And one at a time I'll be like, come on, come with me. It's a pretty cool place. It's pretty neat. And if you don't know what Club 33 is, you can Google it, or just wait. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's actually a restaurant, which is located, see that big window right there? Right up there. The entrance, the old entrance is over here behind Pirates of the Caribbean. And so everyone thinks that Club 33 is actually up there above Pirates. That's the Disney Dream Suite. It was going to be Walt Disney's bigger private apartment. I did a video sort of about it. I did a video sort of about the Pirates facade, and the Walt and Roy's initials are up there on the railing. And because it was going to be a Disney family apartment, but you used to enter there and then cross over a bridge, basically, up here. Up here's the main dining room of Club 33. And then over there, on top of the other series of buildings across, it's not Royal Street, this is Royal Street. Back is the other street. I'm blanking. But right here, on the Esplanade and Royal Street, up there, that is Club 33. So if you're wondering where the dining room of Club 33 is, it's up there. And then right across this little sky bridge over here, which that's the cast member one, not the one that you walk through. Right over here, up there is the Members Lounge, which is like this super, super fancy bar. And you cannot get in there without a member. See, someone can sign you into dinner and be like, hey, I want you to have dinner. But you cannot go in there without a bona fide member. Now the new entrance is over here. This used to be called the Court of Angels. There's this cool little courtyard where you can keep wedding pictures and hang out. Orleans! Duh. And now they have closed it off to the public. They created this whole little courtyard here so they can get wheelchairs up and down, a new elevator, and have a big stairway, a big fancy stairway, and a foyer, a big waiting area. So they effectively doubled the size of Club 33 when they remodeled it. It's not the same club that Walt Disney would have hung out in. And then you go up, reception area, and you either cross over. Oh yeah. No, that's where you cross over. You either cross over to the member lounge area or go in here. There's fancy dining rooms, like 5-course meals, and they're like give you stuff in between. Like here's a palate cleanser, and like I've been one other time I've been one time to the restaurant and one time to the members lounge, invited to like, hey man, come by and say hi and have a drink. Like you don't say no to that, right? So I went both times. And man, when they give you the food in the restaurant, like it was too fancy for me. I had no idea. I mean, I was 32 years old. I had never had someone be like, here's a palate cleanser in between your foods. Okay, just what do I do with it? You put it in your mouth and then it tastes like something different before you taste something different. Oh, okay. Anyway, there's an exit for me. This, by the way, New Orleans Square in the morning. Just nobody over here. If we'd have come straight here when the park opened, you would see nobody. There's still mostly nobody. Like you're not gonna see that later today. No way. The park is slammed, crowded, out of control, just like it has been all the time lately for the holidays. But if you get here at 8 o'clock in the morning, like on the dot, right at rope drop, right when the park opens, it's gonna be pretty good. Or if you wait till after the fireworks and come at night, also pretty good time. So there are moments in time, there are moments in time where the park is nice and peaceful and empty, even on a crazy day. You just got to get up early, and probably in the late afternoon is probably when you want to go back to your hotel and just take a little bit of a nap or something, and then come back at night. What I hate is, I hate seeing this, I hate it for other people's sake. These poor people that wake up at like 10 in the morning and they're like, I'm gonna cruise down to the park. And they get in here at like 1 p.m. and it's all kinds of crowded and getting more and more crowded. And then by the time the fireworks are over, they're like, I'm done, I'm so tired, I'm going back to the hotel. And that was their experience of Disneyland, was only in the thickest part of the crowd. Definitely start at the beginning, end at the end. And if you have to take a break in the middle of the day. That is my Disneyland advice to you, sir. Okay, or lady, sir. That is really important to remember. Come in the early morning, come in the nighttime with the dark and the cold especially. And you're gonna have just those 3 or 4 hours. Like there's 2 hours at the beginning when the park first opens, and the 2 hours like between 10 and midnight when it's a midnight night of closing. Those are gonna be like, those 4 hours are gonna be like the best part, just the best part of your whole day. Otherwise, just throwing this out there because people always ask me, I would say the best time of year to come is like February or March, or like any time during the year where the park hours actually close at like 8 o'clock, like super early in the daytime. That's a good bet that the park is not crowded and that there's not a lot going on. Like, oh, they're closing really early. Probably means that they're not expecting big crowds, but it's still a 60th anniversary thing going on. That's going to go all the way through next summer, 2016. And you got the Hatbox Ghost all brand new, and even though Rivers of America is closing, which by the way, they've done this before. They've closed Rivers of America for about a year before. In 2003, Rivers of America felt like it was closed for 16,000 years. And there was all kinds of caves and stalactites growing, like it was closed forever. And it's not going to be that bad, but if you want to ride Rivers of America and the railroad and go see Big Thunder Trail and see the remnants of Mine Train to Nature's Wonderland, you got to get here before January 10th. After that, I feel like I'm going to predict that the park is still going to be way more crowded than normal, an average year, because the 60th anniversary stuff's still going on. You got the castle out there. I know Season of the Force is ending around that time, springtime, but I'm sure we're going to see some crazy 60th anniversary stuff happening towards the end. Disneyland Forever fireworks, Paint the Night Parade, all that stuff's still going on. So Disneyland, still popular, still crowded. Anyway, I got to go do a bunch more errands now. I'm sorry I didn't take you on a ride. We just sort of loafed around and walked around and talked about lots of stuff. Don't drink the haterade, guys. Don't be a hater. I was talking to, I won't name names, I guess, but I was talking to someone who knew Walt Disney very well and was integral in the building of Disneyland. And one of the things that this person, and actually 2 other people that are in the same category of like level of like Disneyland builder creators of this place, none of them want to come to the park. And it's not because the crowds. It's because they'll say annual pass holders, but it's not really annual pass holders. It's fanboys. It's the internet forum. They changed this color of the trash can. They killed the magic. It's that whole mentality and attitude. You listen to the people who created this place, who wanted the magic to exist, who worked with Walt Disney himself, and they all say, to a man, they'll all tell you that's the worst friggin' part. That They love seeing people enjoying it and living in the magic and stuff, but what ruins it for them, and seriously what ruins it for everybody, is coming here and poo-pooing on everything and hating it. Oh no, they're changed. This is terrible. I know there's things that change, and it's sad. Look, I'm older than some of you guys and younger than some of you. I've lived through a lot of Disneyland changes. For one thing, you used to walk right into Pirates from the ground. There was no tunnel. There was no bridge. You walked straight in there. And then when they built Fantasmic here, they put that bridge and tunnel and this whole thing. So Fantasmic ruined Pirates. It ruined it. Having Johnny Depp, Jack Sparrow down in there, and then the weird awkward scene where Barbossa and everybody, like, they're all talking about Jack Sparrow for some reason. It ruined Pirates. Like, it really, I just went to Paris where there is none of that stuff. Personally, in my humble opinion, way better without that movie tie-in. But you live with it. You go, all right, there are plenty of kids now who totally grown up with that. Some of you are those kids who are like, it's awesome, I love it. I love Johnny Depp. And that's fine. I'm not going to hate on the thing that you love. So just cool your jets. Be cool, babies. Be cool. Relax. Star Wars Land, awkward, weird. It's just a strange placement choice, but we'll all get used to it. Just like we got used to Star Tours and the Indiana Jones ride and everything else. Winnie the Pooh instead of Country Bears. Plenty of things. You can walk through this place and hate on it and complain if you want. I'm not going to join you. I'm just not going to be part of that. I will sometimes complain about it being crowded or hot or my feet being sore or getting a blister. One day. That's a one-day complaint, but I'm not going to sit here and complain that everything's changed past Walt's original vision. Disneyland in 1955 would be amazing to visit in a time capsule, but I'm telling you, Disneyland now is probably a lot better to a modern audience. And I don't think that Walt would disagree. And if Walt were here, he would have ripped out pretty much every beloved thing and built some crazy brand new thing, because that dude was crazy. He was crazy. He was obsessed with the newest, the latest, the greatest, a big new show, a new way to show people things, a new way to entertain people, a new way to tell stories. And people like Walt Disney would have loved the innovative storytelling that we're going to see in a whole brand new land. It's going to be fun. Personally, yeah, I wouldn't have built it here either. Don't get me wrong. I'm on your side in a way, but I'm more on your side than you think I am, because I'm trying to be on your side and let you love this place. I will give you the wisdom and the benefit of all my experience and the sum of all my years of travel. And I've been all kinds of crazy places. I've spent tons of time here. I grew up here. So every change here to me, everyone calls Disneyland their home. I grew up right back there. My grandparents live right there. I grew up pretty much every day being right next to this place, and everything around here and the entire city has changed. Disney made them rip out all the old neon signs. The neighborhoods have completely changed. Now, you drive down Harbor Boulevard, it is unrecognizable to someone who grew up here in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Totally, completely different. The whole town has changed. The only piece of my home that's left, my relatives are all gone, my grandparents are dead, and all that's left for me is this place. All that's left of my hometown is here. We're high school, we come here for events and we do the marching band here over and over again. I had an annual pass here, so all my teenage years were spent going on little dates here and holding girls' hands and making out with them and doing all my teenage stuff happen here, all my shenanigans. Disneyland really literally is like my home, and I'm telling you, you'll live, it'll be okay. If anyone should be angry, you changed the trash can paint color, it should be me, but I'm telling you, I went through that phase too, and you'll be a lot happier if you, no pun intended, let it go. All right? Enjoy the things that you enjoy while you can enjoy them, and when they go, you gotta let them go. I never thought I'd see Captain EO again when Captain EO went away for Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, which I did not like, and then I got Captain EO back. Now it's gonna be other stuff for a while, but you never know. So be cool. Be cool. Mine Train to Neutral Wonderland, gone, but not forgotten. Aladdin show will be gone, not forgotten. I guess you can all be sad that the restaurant's leaving. Some of you are foodies, and I respect that. Me personally, not as attached to food, because the gluten intolerance has made me just accept that food leaves me. Everything I love leaves me. Anyway, I am actually feeling really positive. That's just something I've been noticing a lot. There's my philosophy on it. It's not that you're not right. It's not that you're not right, that, oh, come on, I wish it could stay the same forever, and I wish my childhood nostalgia and the place where I made all my memories could stay the same forever, crystallized forever. I get it. But you wouldn't want to actually stay in high school forever, would you? You wouldn't want to actually stay in your childhood and be 7 forever, would you? You'd miss out on so much more that life has to offer. So many good things are coming. Trust me. Why would I lie? All right. I'm gonna go now. I got a lot of Christmassy stuff to do, and before I have to bail for all the Christmassy stuff that I need to do, well, let's see if this day turns wonderful or sour. We'll see if my wishing well wishes come true. I gotta go stick a coin back in there. I'm actually gonna go do that right now. But first, I gotta ride Pirates of the Caribbean. A choice that's not super popular in the morning, but it's becoming rapidly more popular. Look how much this park is filling up just in the last hour since we've been doing this. So by 9 o'clock, starting to fill up. There's still some short wait time, so definitely come in at 8. And if you take my advice, don't even do Hyperspace Mountain or get a fast pass for Hyperspace Mountain. Don't even do Panland, just do Pan at night. Do Pan last at night, where you're standing in line after the park is already closed, and then you're just doing that. Take my advice and go do everything else. Go to Indiana Jones and do all this crazy stuff early. Haunted Mansion before there's lines. And in that vein, I'm gonna go do Pirates, even though Pirates never really has the longest line in the park. I just love it the most. It's my favorite ride. So, happy holidays, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. See y'all later. Live Fast I Pour on Instagram, Live Fast I Pour on Snapchat, Justin Scard on Twitter, and I like your messages there. And I gotta go. See you later.